it's like, there's an old saying, when Horus is a child, the elemental spirits is his protectors. Once he become an adult, they become his servants. And we're not talking about a disrespect, we're talking about a chain of command. And what it is we got to take command over by using the forces. You see what I'm saying? Not bowing down to the forces or trying to pander to the forces, because the forces don't work when you come to them humble now. Because we're talking about we're talking about a God grown again. We did that for thousands of years. So now, I use the forces. As a matter of fact, I was in Indianapolis. I woke up that morning, it was raining. I called up Oya and I called up, but I said, now wait a minute. Now y'all fucking know that black people ain't gonna come out if it's raining. Now what in the hell are y'all assholes making this shit rain when you know damn well we working for you too? We're all in this together, shit. And sure enough, as soon as I said the rain stopped, the sun came out, and sure enough, right after I got through, the rain poured down like crazy. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, the energy is out there now, but it needs someone to channel it. That's what our role is. That was ordained for us in the last days to get your power. That's the same thing that I was talking about last night, where Christ comes and takes the force of Satan, which is the raw power energy, and he uses that. He's using that particular power because he's conquered that power. So the key is that's not necessarily true. I don't want to fuck with no damn spirits that can't get in front of no damn camera and shit based on electromagnetic force fields, because based on stuff what's getting ready to go down, we need some real deal power to kick this ass when it all go down. So the ones I call on, they better come and do this shit right, you know. And based on that, we're talking about a chain of command, and we're also talking about going back to see the movie Last Dragon. The man was always looking for the master in the movie, and come to find out he was the master. You see what I'm saying? So that's the key right now. That's the key right now. We give too much respect for the ancestors, and the ancestors ain't nothing but a damn nigga that lost the body. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? And some of them are confused too. Don't let nobody fool you. Some of our ancestors and some of the gods are lost because they are random energies in an abandoned zoo. And the only reason how they ever get to the particular point where they're directed the right way is you got to conceive of it and you got to line it up, because the simple fact that's our task. So therefore we do it on the, and plus you got to realize this particular part. If you put the libations on the video and a person's in the house somewhere in Alabama watching the actual video, this particular libations can also
Battleship sunk. Enemy battleship detected. Enemy submarine spotted. Attention. Reporting the target position.
Electrify his house and give him the energy right in the crib. You see what I'm saying? And that person might have a revelation. You see, because people listen to the video with the libations and went in and had doggone multiple dreams and lucid dreams. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about all of that particular stuff as archetypes of the collective unconsciousness. But we are taught based on the ancestors, because that was the last cycle. The last cycle was, you know, we worship, and we don't worship shit. We are the goddamn ancestors, because I'm going to show you something. Guess where the ancestors go when they leave your body? They go and live inside of you. They live inside of you. That's where your ancestors are. Each man has his own universe, and when the ancestors go, they live inside of you. So when you speak to ancestors, you're only magnifying your own power. You're only magnifying your own power because they are all in a part of you. We're talking about the same substance. The same substance. And time out for all this old righteousness and beautiful and all that old fucked up shit, cause old African shit, the same old, all this here beautiful and praise be to. It's wartime now. So fuck the man and fuck any asshole that don't want to get down with the show. You see, and I'm only telling you what Legba told me and the damn Orishas. They say, man, we can't help you no more. That was in '95. I say, what? There's 96. I said, we cannot help you anymore. Because you are dependent on us and you're looking at us as an objective entity outside of your own self. Until you come to us like you come to your brothers on the corner, don't come to us. And what was that? That was a way of teaching me that basically, you understand that we are all the same pattern. So at this particular time, I don't try to give the type of respect to the ancestors no more than I give the same people in this room. That's why I say, hey, if you pouring libations, if we trying to be one with the gods, you understand what I'm saying, or one with the forces, it's kind of stupid to exclude the forces. We ain't damn forces, and the forces is inside of us. You understand what I'm saying? You on the video, so they be on the video. And so you got to start looking at these things as random forces of energy, no different than bleach, Ajax, washing powder, gasoline, gunpowder. You understand what I'm saying? A nigger knocker, a whipstick, or whatever you want to call the shit. You got to look at it that way, and you are the one that's in control of that thing, because you are the Heru, the warrior. And you harness their energy, not the ancestors, oh, protect me, oh, it's all about you. You see what I'm saying? See, the Europe and all that stuff blew that out of proportion for the simple fact that when they were in the mystery schools, they understood at the particular time, because they had a mystery system in West Africa, just like you had the one in East Africa. And they understood that ultimately the initiate first comes in, and the initiate comes in and he learns all about the gods and all this type of stuff. When he gets to a certain age, about 30, they come in and say, hey, look, them gods you've been worshiping, they you. Or they gods just like you. And he has to deal with the point, if he's going to become a god and be one like God, he has to identify with them, and he has to literally take the next 10 years of his life to erase this whole thing based on him being separated from the gods. But after the priests had to go up underground based on degeneration and based on colonization and based on wars, they went up underground, and so therefore the mystery, the higher component died out, and the regular people just started worshiping the entities. So what about the law, this and all that kind of thing, which is 7 major deities, 7 chakras. There's how many hundred other major deities, deities. You got chakras and glands, and it's all nothing but the mechanism of your own body. But they lost that magic. So now we got all the new Egyptians and everybody calling on Osiris and all that. They ain't doing nothing but calling on their own damn self. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get out of this whole Christianized, Judeo-Christian mentality. You understand what I'm saying? The way we view these Kamite deities, they are formulas. But they are not just formulas outside of you, they are your formulas. You see what I'm saying? They're your formulas and all. And that's the point about it, why people not being trained that much in the occult to understand this particular stuff. You got to push the envelope to the point whereas you got to stop making it an objective entity outside of yourself. You see? So my thing, based on what I know, and I know how this shit works. You see what I'm saying? I know how this stuff works. You got to doggone include them as a part of you. So therefore we will pour libations on the damn camera in the goddamn bathroom. I'm on the damn toilet, I call on the shit. Well, I thought about it, damn, this is kind of a foul place to call up Ogun. I said, wait a minute, motherfucker, I'm Ogun. I'm sitting on Ogun, he's taking a damn shit. See? And we got to constantly, and this is a hard thing, because we got to constantly deal with this, because we've had thousands of years of worshiping. And it's very lonely without a God, you understand what I'm saying, above you, whereas the God being a part of you in the force of the force that you are actually the agent carrying out God's work. It's very lonely when you don't have something to bow down to. It's very lonely. So therefore, it's no different than moving out of the house the first time and be by your damn self. You move out with some friends, you can get through it, but by yourself, you move out of the house the first time, it's very lonely when you ain't got no, when your mom and daddy ain't around. When it's the same hierarchy when it comes to the God realm. You are now adults. You are now adults. And you don't supposed to pray to them, you supposed to demand. And you gotta demand seriously, just like you ever got mad at a person? You get mad and grit your doggone teeth? That's power. You see what I'm saying? You supposed to demand this and that happen, but don't demand on no bullshit, because that's not what the energy is for. So don't demand to have no damn fur coat. But I'm saying I demand for my fucking lights not to get cut off.
What if your small business could run a TV ad on the #1 streaming?
You got to literally demand these things because you're using the same forces. You see what I'm saying? Don't pray to them. Quit praying. You see what I'm saying? Quit praying. So we call on them and all, but it's the same energy, and that's the thing we have to drive home because we don't get it. We are the gods who are to come is our own self. That's what the whole Christ mechanism is all about. You see what I'm saying? There is no God but man because man is the acting agent of God. It's something like God is called the nothingness. It has all the potential in the world. But without a plug or without a machine that actually takes the electricity and turns it into something, it's just what you call stagnant. You see, it's not connected. So we are the agent, or what you would call the perfecting agent of God, of the nothing. So therefore, we don't supposed to be bound down to the nothingness because the nothingness put itself in motion as us to do what the hell it wants. But somehow in his journey to do what he wants, he got hit in the damn head, and the other part got separated, the other part looking back thinking that's God, and it's the same damn shit. It's like being in the same house, wanting to get to another part of the doggone house, but the door is closed and you thinking the house is totally separate. You thinking the house you want to be is down the street, but it's just a door away. You see, so that's what we have to deal with at this particular time. Is becoming, and it's almost a therapeutic, psychological thing on what you have to deal with on that particular level. Once I got above that, now I do what the fuck I want to do. I want to scratch my ass, I scratch my ass. You understand what I'm saying? I purposely do things out of the moralistic realm, including thoughts. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what we're talking about, the same force. That force that hit Jamaica the other damn night ain't got no shit to drop about no Bible, about no moralism, what I want to do. This type of stuff, it hit Jamaica and killed ass. Well, that's the same force that's inside of us, and that's what we got to understand. And until we realize that, the white man understands. That's what moralism and slave religions are about. To keep you from your higher self. And your higher self is called the monstrous soul. That's what it is. All the monsters you see on the monster movie, that's us. Ripley Scott went over to Europe and made a whole movie called Alien. Alien 1 through 4. And that alien you see is us. You see, is us. He got it from the Necronomicon, and Ripley Scott was a member of the Crawleys OTO. And that whole alien thing. And so, but when you see the alien, you're terrified. Because the alien see you, you dead. Ain't no, let's figure this shit out. Ain't no playing no cards. Ain't no compromise. You dead. You understand? He got that over in Europe when he went over and saw the man's work. What's the guy's name? He did he created the stuff for Species too. H. Geiger. H.G. Geiger. And he saw his works and he took the adaptation of his work and made Alien from it. Because H. Geiger went over and helped him on the set to make the alien thing. But you see how the alien was no shit. He saw you, you died. Well, that's talking about the monstrous soul of the black man. You saw it bleed the acid. In the alchemical text, they say the philosopher's stone of God, which is melanin, is the most perfect acid. You see, so this is what this stuff is actually dealing with, and this is the level we have to get to at this particular time, because we got too many damn charlatans, we got too many preachers, and we got that, but we don't have enough people that is demonic. That's the key. It's not demonic as far as you. It's the white man's devil. This is how he views you. You get where I'm coming from? He's scared of you because he understands that you have a certain warrior energy, and you know what? This is the key. This is one thing that they don't let you know. Do you know that there's no text in Egypt, Samaria, Greek, Babylon, or none of the ancient world that talk about Christ being some Jesus loved the little children, all that love shit. All of the Christ, from Hercules to Horus to Dionysus to all of that, is killers. Bottom line. So when the Romans fashioned this docile bitch and gave it to the people, said this is the Hebrew Christ, the Hebrews or the Jews at that particular time said, hell no, that ain't the Christ. Remember, that came out of Egypt. They said, no, the thing that's coming at the end of the days is a killer. You see, it's a killer. It is the predator. They said, no, this is not it. They said, this is not the Christ. Not no motherfucker talking about love and little babies and lambs and all that old bullshit. They took alchemical symbology and made a little pussified, punctified little old doggone man walk around. That's Paul and Josephus.
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor?
On nobody else, you don't find that beyond, you don't find that before that particular period of time, and that's a political shit to control a group of people around the world. You see what I'm saying? With all that old bullshit, you got that doctrine and all this kissing and hugging and all that shit. The Christ energy is a destructive, demonic force that's supposed to come back in the last days to fuck the universe. And literally the entire universe. They say when the gods see him up there, they bow down to him. You see what I'm saying? And it's right there in the Bible if you look at it. But all this other little old doctrine is political, social, economical, and slavery. And that's what Paul did because he was under the authority of the Roman government and the church, and the Romans wanted to take a religion that they could put on people to make people bow down. So they had to take all of the warrior principles and make it into some old punctified ass sucker. So let's go. All right. Yeah. I'm in Ra. I say Ka. I say Ba. I say Ab. I say Kahu. I say Ku. I say Sahu. I say Ka. I say Captain. I say Second. I say Osir. I say Soot. I say Soot. I say Soot Nephi. I say Soot Nuit. I say Apit. I say Apep. I say Nu. I say I'm in Rinthensar. I say Osir Kentia Minchi. I say Azazel. I say Azathos. I say Shub Niggerok. I say Cthulhu. I say Yosatos. I say Hastar. I say Great Old Ones. I say Great Ones. I say Deep Ones. I say Dagon. I say Dogon. I say Ama, I say Naama, I say Ba, I say Na, I say Ku, I say Nomo, I say Yugaru, I say Yugaru, I say Yugaru, I say Kuntu, I say Digitaria stages, I say Uzimu, I say Buzimu, I say Muzimu, I say Kamara, I say Kingu, I say Kamara, I say Muzimu, I say Marambo, I say Rarimki, I say Muzimu, I say Fo, I say Do, I say Seldo, I say Jodo, I say Fo, I say Yi, I say Mawa, I say T, I say Mara Lisa, I say Lekba, I say Akanapan, I say Okwa, I say Natra, I say Sansaman, I say Melampo, I say Sansam, I say Akanapan, I say Kimi, I say Sansaban, I say Hera, I say Apollo, I say Hercules, I say Prometheus, I say Titans, I say Kronos, I say Rhea, I say Uranus, I say Sephra, I say Ain, I say Ain, I say Ain Sir, I say Kether, I say Shakma, I say Bina, I say Da, I say Chess, I say Gebera, I say Tiferet, I say Natsat, I say Yaset, I say Malkuth, I say Genea, I say Kalipos, I say Metatron, I say Medaratan, I say Meskinet, I say Melchizedek, I say Sidek, I say Sutek, I say Baal Zephin, I say Baal Zephin, I say Aether, I say Helios, I say Magneto, I say Jupiter, I say Mars, I say Mercury, I say Diana, I say Rhea, I say Ceres, I say Aethys, I say Uranus, I say Rhea, I say Zeus, I say, almost scratch that. Aries, I say Apollo, I say Aphrodite, I say Hermes, I say Tahuti, I say Artemis, I say Demeter, I say Heru Raha, I say Ra Heru Kahuti, I say Heru Ha, I say Harpocrates, I say Mim, I say Ptah, I say Amin-Ra, I say Amin-Rinthensar, I say Anu, I say Adam-Ra, I say Adam-Gwerdi, I say Obu-Kareli, I say Abraxas, I say Mithra, I say Ma'at, I say Mut, I say Sut, I say Het-Heru, I say Anpu, I say Anush, I say Anunnaki, I say Osea, I say Nephert, I say Yima, I say Odin, I say Frigga, I say Balder, I say Laki, I say Thor, I say Freya, I say Freya, I say Silk, I say Nephthys, I say Brahmin, I say Shakti, I say Shiva, I say Kali, I say Bhavini, I say Vishnu, I say Ramachandra, I say Shiva, I say Sita, I say Hanuman, I say Jinseya, I say Lakshmi, I say Layla, I say Lily too, I say Le Ashe, Allah Ashe, Yamawala Wedo Ashe, Bridget Ashe, Marasha Ashe, Papa Gede Ashe, Odongwede Ashe, Ogufreli Ashe, Ogushengo Ashe, Azuli Ashe, Lepa Ashe, Ishu Ashe, Edowedo Ashe, Zaka Ashe, Babaluaye Ashe, Ife Ashe, Loa Ashe, Oshofi Ashe, Olakun Ashe, Olaroon Ashe. Okay. Olafi Ashe, Obasala Ashe, Odudawa Ashe, Oruna Ashe, Ogun Ashe, Shango Ashe, Oshun Ashe, Lepa Ashe, Yemenya Ashe, Rishu Poku Ashe, Oya Ashe. Alright, few more. Get it going on. But you do have the copies of this that you can Xerox and give to people when they want. Okay then. So you can step by here and get these if you want them. Okay. Ami Tutu Ashe, Ani Tutu Ashe, Ili Tutu Ashe, Tutu Leba Ashe, Kofi Ka Ashe, Kofi Arun Ashe, Kofi Ipo Ashe, Kofi Oko Ashe, Imtana Ashe, Kofi Bataba Ashe, Akababa Waya Ashe, Tayamat Ashe, Babylon Ashe, Labu Ashe, Inanna Ashe, Kofi Ka Ashe, Kofi Imtana Ashe, Kofi Oko Ashe, Kofi Iyo Ashe, Kofi Bataba Ashe, Akababa Waya Ashe, Mojo Ogo Alafi Ashe, Mojo Ogo Itu Ashe. Got a little more in here. Moko Ojo Itu Ashe, Mojo Ogo Itu Ashe, Nila Labali Olamari Olagoon Ashe, Nikamasi Ogo Ilasa Ashe, Babalasa Ogo Ilasa Ashe, Inikamasi Ashe. Okay, well, that's that. We could do the ancestors now. AWAS, okay, we still go. We don't even need the water. We got enough here. We just call out the names. AWAS, Ashe. Thunderdog, I say. Thunderbird, I say. Sunbear, I say. Let's see. Amsu Min, I say. Tai Yik, I say. Minivis, I say. Mintu, I say. Satis, I say. Tuttinin, I say. Upwaret, I say. Core, I say. Gargan, I say. To all gods known and unknown, I say. Now start calling out your ancestors. 1, 2, 3. Call out your ancestors. Let's see, the Hemmitt family, the Shaw family, the Davis family, Ashe. Ginger's family, Ashe. 1, 2, 3, start calling them out. Ashe, Ashe, holler them out. Ashe, 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 Ashe. To all gods known and unknown. Ashe. To all ancestors known and unknown. Ashe. Yeah, plus, you got people that want to learn the libations. They might want to know how the ceremony goes. So the tape teaches them how that goes, you know. So it's very key. You got to understand that we're doing this also to teach the people, and not necessarily all the time just for the crew that's in the actual lecture. And I know that for a fact. Out of 100 videos, a lot of this stuff, and it's interesting because when I first started lecturing, about a year after that, I went to Tennessee for the first time.
Your competition isn't smarter than you, and they're not better at.
Was coming out to the car and they were speaking and we was having a conversation. I hadn't even gotten out the car good and the people was talking to me and my brother said, you know, that video is some powerful shit. That white man messed up when he made that. But the simple fact, these people act like they know you all your life. And for the simple fact that we were speaking knowledge, it was almost like I knew them all my life. And it's interesting because when I go around the country, all the conscious people, it's like I'm in the same place all the time. Which is cool because we're talking about synchronicity. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm in Indianapolis, it's the same. For New York, it's the same crew of people. Atlanta, it's the same crew of people. South Carolina, and it's almost like the audience never changes. And although faces are new, it's talking about a certain energy that we draw, which the white boy don't count on because the masses of the people, he think he's got this shit beat. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna give a shout out to Terrence Johnson again, which is the brother that was in the GQ article. I promise you, if you, the GQ article, if you didn't know about it, we'll leave this article behind. But if you don't come to ask for anything, please come by and ask for this article. Because we're going to Xerox one tomorrow or whatever, and I'm going to leave it behind. And in that way, you can get them run off about 100 copies. And even if you just give them out, you know, and get this this brother and hear this brother's story. The brother took himself out, which was good because he's now an ancestor. So I'm going to pour a good shot out of water to him. Well, we just say, give him a good Ashe, Terrence Johnson. You see, so now we got this on this side, and I'm quite sure that he don't love the government and all, because he's seen years in the actual in the actual jail for killing 2 police officers when he was 15 because they was beating him in the cell, and he took out the gun and shot him because they was gonna kill him. So that lets you know that's a warrior spirit also. And so we want to give that. Also, we want to give a shout out. We dedicate this lecture to both to him as well as Amos Wilson, because I don't think that he's got a good send away as John Henry Clark did. But as you see, like you say, his new book is out, and it's unbelievable, the blueprint to Black Power, which is, you know, you have several Black Power books, but basically they just discussed, most of the books that discuss the problem. His book is an excellent book to deal with the actual problem on the mundane while we're still in the mundane. You see, so his book is, we can say this is a lifelong work, and I believe they took the brother out because of this. You see, because I happen to know something about people that's doing the work. That's right. If I get a cut on my hand, 3 days later, I can look up and the whole shit is regenerated. That means if you got an entity in you or the energy in you and you're doing the work for the people, you don't die. You don't die. You only come down with cancer if you start bullshitting the people and start getting over on the people. You see what I'm saying? So if you got a certain work that's coming out, your spirit is going to make sure that it keeps the body to par. I don't care what you do. Your spirit is going to make sure, because the spirit knows that you cannot, this work has to come out to the people. That's why John Henry Clark and all those people were very old. You see what I'm saying? Lived to a good age. Dr. Ben's still kicking. That's because they were needed for the people. You see what I'm saying? So if you walk out in front of a car, the car won't hit you. You see? So, but the point is, I know for the simple fact that this brother's working on a major work. You see what I'm saying? And we only have a few of them. Even if they wishy-washy, it don't matter. There's only a few people out here working for our people. And we all got problems, so therefore, you don't die. That is the gurus. You see? So the mere fact that he came down with a damn stroke, that means that the crackers took his ass out. You see, they took him out. So therefore, they killed the brother. You see what I'm saying? So that's very key that we understand that. So let's go into some things right now. Like I said, also now the father of the occult, they taught all these white people this stuff, is P.B. Randolph, Pascal Beverly Randolph. You can get his particular book. The Sunday State University in New York just put out his particular book. P.B. Randolph, or Pascal Beverly Randolph. He is the father of this stuff, and he was a black man that traveled with Abraham Lincoln, and Blavatsky and them had something to do with his death because the brother died. But I think in actuality, these occult forces that was working against him at the time, he was the only brother out here, they needed his work. And so therefore, when the brother took himself out, they ran and got all his papers, Blavatsky and the rest of them. So Pascal Beverly Randolph is the father of the occult. At least we're talking about the 19th century on into the 20th century, this shit that we're dealing with now. You see. Even who started the OTO, which is everybody's big Crawley thing. Crawley revived the OTO, Ordo Templar Orients, from this particular organization. Pascal Beverly Randolph, P.B. Randolph, started the organization. So you can get his book, but there's also the book, get the book Mask of the Illuminati, which is a very key book because it's got all this particular information about how the occult is run and how the secret society is run, but it's written in novel form. But it is probably more authentic than a Bill Cooper and all that, because this guy here is a part of the OTO, Robert Anton Wilson. You see what I'm saying? And probably a part of the Illuminati. So therefore, it's a more authentic book, Mask of the Illuminati, which he also deals with Pascal Beverly Randolph in there and tells about this particular brother, which is like one of the chief people that white people are up under. You see, so this is very key. So State University of New York put out this guy's bibliography recently. So he ain't no slowpoke or some kind of half-ass that they're going to put out a book this thick on the brother because they're trying to redo the right. You see, redo the wrong. You see, that's the way they do, you know, in the last days. Of prophesied that they would apologize. Just like this show on slavery that they just had. I don't know if it came on up here. Africans in America.
Yeah. I would say it's like having another room that...
You know, but there was, and you would think that they was real sensitive about white people. So the white person never really seemed like the oppressor. But then again, Rockefeller did it. You see what I'm saying? McDonald's and all these big time Jews did this shit. So you understand that in actuality, we tell our own story. Nothing about the Moors, nothing about the Caribbean, nothing about Africa, basically African and American in America, but basically it was real conservative. A fucking damn white child in suburbia, 10 years old, could watch the shit and don't even be disturbed. And then the thing about it is what made it so bad, they kept having that same old, see, they do things based on mind control. So they had that same old slavery music. So most black people down in Atlanta said, I didn't watch that shit, I'm tired of that shit. And I'm like, why would you be tired of shit? But I realized it when I watched it myself, the entirety, or they played it last Sunday. I said, wait a minute, they are not rebelling against the information. They are rebelling against this fucking damn way this shit is put together. Because the whole thing was this, you know, that old slave damn music. You know, that old same old slavery music. And the people got tired of that. It was interesting. When they was explaining the damn Revolutionary War, they had the drums beat. You know, real heroic. When they got back to the slave thing, it was that, that old shit there, you know. So people were rebelling against that energy that was putting against it. And they didn't understand. It's very key, you see. A very key clone out here that you can tell is a clone is George Foreman. Now, if you get the movie When We Were Kings and study the man on the movie, because a lot of times we can't remember, you know, 10 years ago or whatever. And if you study the man in the mute movie and then study the George Foreman now, it's two different entities. One is a damn fool. This new one is a doggone white man grinning, Meineke, hamburger eating. You understand what I'm saying? All just, you know, that's a clone. The other brother was a regular black person, and even if you do change, you don't change a lot to the point where your whole demeanor change. That lets you know that they got to that brother and changed that brother. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, gone. That's gone. You gotta, this is stuff you gotta accept these days. Gone. Two different people now. You see what I'm saying? Two different people. This is very key. In my hometown of Mullen, South Carolina, they had 20, I don't know if I said this the last time, sometime, I think it was in April or May, they had 27 deaths in a town. No, they had 27 deaths in like, in a town, there's 6,000 people. You see what I'm saying? And that's black and white, but they had 27 deaths. So that ought to let you know that that's manufactured. And it has nothing to do with, just a random thing. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Go and see the movie. I think it will be coming on video soon, The Truman Show. The movie The Truman Show, I think it should be on video. This is the ultimate movie of the black man and black woman in America. But see, they threw you off. You thought it was a Jim Carrey movie. And you know, you thought it was just the same old funny stuff. This movie is about a guy that grew up on a TV set, but he thought the TV set was the whole world. But it was only an illusion, and the people knew that he didn't know that it was the real, that it was fake, but they would come there and that was their job, to make him think that he's staying in this whole world. But one day, that's just like the dead nigga. Think everything. But one day, an incident happened, and the father bust back on the TV set because the father was mad that they fired him. So he see his father when he's grown and realize his father's not dead. And he start putting one and two together. And basically, over the course of the movie, his consciousness starts to growing, and it has to take the producers. They have to have a much greater effort just to keep this facade up and to keep him dead. But his consciousness is rapidly gaining. You see what I'm saying? Fake wife, fake everything. It's also in a song. Talking Heads did a song, Once in a Lifetime, back in like 1980. And they say, sometime you might ask yourself, is this my wife? Is this my house? You see, which goes with the same thing. Who am I? really who I am and am I all I ought to be? You know, Maulana Karenga used to say the basic fundamental questions. Who am I? Am I really who I am? Or am I all I ought to be? Well, this movie, he finds out in the movie that it's more and more, he finds out that it's fake. And one point where he's walking down the street and this light fixture falls, and he picks it up and it has the word Sirius on it. You see. But anyway, he looks up and the creator was up in the moon. If you look, he was look up at the moon and you can look in the moon and the creator's up in the moon watching. And they almost, to make sure that he did not find out about himself, they almost went to the point they was ready to kill him to make sure that he didn't leave the TV set. But the whole world was watching this thing. So you got to see the movie. The movie is awesome. The Truman Show. And it should be, it was out this summer, but it should be coming to the video, on video in the next couple of weeks. You see, so you got to get that particular one. Anyway, we know that we're home free for the simple fact, like not only did I tell you about the black hole last night, but on the other hand, I don't know if I mentioned this, I think I was up here. I don't. Time. When did I come the first time? April what? Oh. April 12th. April 12th. Okay, on April 23rd, the white boys around the world, all these occult people around the world, and you some niggas will do it too, because we all think everybody. They had a worldwide ritual and a meditation to save the earth. Now, April 23rd, as you know, at the same time that the Dogon did the Sikhi ceremony, the sacred dance, to end the world. And they said any time after this is what is called a null period, which means it's a leftover residue, it has to peter itself out. So to let you know that this is some serious stuff, and they were getting more and more to their death, they went and had a ritual to save the earth. Which comes to tell you that their time is up anytime that they got to go and get a ritual worldwide. You know, they got niggas up in there too, because there's only a few people in the world that know that this crack is the devil. And we lose more and more of them every damn day. My point is, they got, you know, they always got to put the black person in there as a battery. Because that's the person that the energy that they use, they're vampires, they use his energy. They say you don't want the earth to end, so therefore we can have some time. Because it's not up to the white people. So they had this worldwide shit, you know, they got all the people from India and some brothers from the continent and, you know, all over the world. And they just meditation and this ritual and shit so that they somehow reduce or actually renew this old cycle. It's in the movie Dark Crystal, which is a movie everybody should have in their fucking home. You should own that movie, The Dark Crystal. Jim Henson, you think it's a Muppet movie, but it's the key movie. Anyway, they had this world meditation. Now, in Atlanta, since 96, they've been having this whole life expo. I think they have it in several places around the country where they have all these metaphysicians and all these particular people, herbalists, and all these people that work with crystals, black and white. They go there and they have this expo, and this expo is a thing. In actuality, the whole life is basically to try to save the damn world or heal the earth. Any shit you ever hear some motherfucker talking about healing the earth, you run from that shit. You see what I'm saying? Healing the earth, that's bullshit. That ain't prophesied. It's the thing how, and it's the funny part about how we can read all of this sacred stuff, Egyptian this and Egyptian that, and all the shit at the end talks about an end. This shit leaving. But yet, we get some charlatan to come in talking about saving the damn earth and healing the fucking earth. How the hell you gonna heal the damn earth? You see, Torchlight for America and Savior. Anybody talking about saving the fucking earth, you know that that's some bullshit. Either it's a genuine person that has not studied enough and does not realize that the earth is going to be here, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be here in the physical. You see where I'm coming from? So, but because everything is not based, your reality is not all based on physical. This is just the illusionary part of the whole game. So these white people are now talking about save the earth. That's the whole shit now. Because their asses is lit now. So anybody talking about save the doggone earth, and the stuff that they say that's destroying the earth, they call that the demonic power. Or the satanic power. Now you get it. You see what I'm saying? It is contradictory even to Christianity. You see what I'm saying? No religion talks about the earth is going to be the same. The earth is going to be here because the earth was here in the beginning. In the beginning, before there was anything on it, before there was God that was ruling the universe, the earth was here. It's called Tartarus or Gaia. In the beginning there was Gaia or Tiamat. You want to know where the great mother is? The great mother became a physical earth. That's what they call it, Mother Earth. So she was here before God. God didn't create the earth. God created a physical casket or a physical tomb for his mother. You see what I'm saying? God did the creator. Fuck the creator. But then again, I read and I study and I know this shit. So anybody want to debate me on this thing, we can go right to any text. You find any fucking text and we'll go to the text and we'll show you that the creator used the mother to create this thing, but that's a casket, it's a tomb. That's the whole Osirian drama, that's the whole Greek thing, that's all of that. So, saving the earth, that's all. But these crackers is talking about saving the world. That's the shit. Anytime they talk about saving the damn... Now here go a cracker that spent his whole life tearing up the damn earth. Killing everything. And all of a doggone sudden, he talking about saving the earth. That's why George Bush and them didn't agree to that shit. See, George Bush and them knew if they're going to be a new change, we the crackers, we want to be in on it. We the Illuminati. They knew that it was futile. So remember that in 92, they had this whole Earth Summit. And the only person that did not go to the Earth Summit or either join the whole shit or make the pact was the United States government. You see what I'm saying? And they didn't make it because they automatically knew, you know what I'm saying? Why prolong the inevitable? Well, we're going to try to prolong it, but ultimately, we need to be trying to get to the other realm. So that's why all this John Glenn's wrinkle ass is up there in space and stuff, which it ain't going to work. See what I'm saying? But my point is, they didn't join the Earth Summit for the simple fact that they knew you can't save no damn Earth. Already here, the earth is going to be here. You're talking about the physical summit, and the physical is degenerating. So they say you're going to burn up in hellfire. Anytime you put some water on a piece of tin and you go back and it's rusting, that means that the atoms is burning up. The earth, since it was created, was in a constant state of burning up. That's what the degeneration of the physical does. It burns up and it regenerates. But the earth is always in a constant state of burning up. You see? So this whole thing with this earth thing is all based on these crackers trying to fool people. So now we got black people talking about Mother Earth and fuck all that shit. Mother Earth wants out. Because Gaia, or what you call Tiamat, or Newt, or Apit, or Apep, is ever trying to penetrate heaven. You just got to read more into it and quit speaking based on feeling and speak on what you know. And most people are taught a certain doggone way. So it's very key that you understand that at this particular time. Go get the movie Phantoms, the movie Deep Rising, because the Deep Rising is a form of the Leviathan, the serpent. You'll see that in the particular movie. Fallen, Azazel. They say Azazel want to take the earth. Go and get that. Azazel is a form of Tahuti, or a form of Prometheus, or a form of Ionis, and basically a world teacher that taught man civilization. And because he taught man the arts and science of civilization, he was pinned to a stake and became the enemy of God. Because God wanted man to be ignorant. So he is also Samuel the serpent. He wanted man to be ignorant because he understood that man was more advanced than he was. You heard this story before. Anybody is unclear about this thing, raise your hand and we can explain this thing one little bit. This is what's happening. This creation story that you have with the basically we come by our creation story based on the Judeo-Christian thing. Even if you newly found is Islamic or newly found Egyptian. We only get the creation part, but there's another part before creation. And what they don't tell you, in order for the earth to be created, they had to overthrow the great mother. But as a result, after they overthrew the great mother ends up becoming man down here. Because the substance that they used, that they killed, the substance that they burnt the great mother up, they burnt her substance up. That substance they used to create man. So automatic, because the great mother is before God, man and woman becomes higher than God. And if you want to deal a little bit lighter, if you can't deal with that, we're talking about one cycle overthrows another cycle. Then the other cycle gets old itself, and the cycle they overthrew is now regenerated, but these other motherfuckers don't want the new cycle to come in because they want to rule. It's simple as that. So God is the enemy in the sense of what you know God as. That's a subordinate deity that is a jealous God. Why is he jealous? He's jealous because he understands there's something higher than him. Otherwise, what he going to be jealous of you for? You see, so you got to get the whole story. So we are hiding him because the light that he used, that he stole from his mother to create this earth, was stolen from him by Prometheus, by Tahuti, by Azazel. The entities stole the light from him, or by Lucifer, that brought the light to earth. And as a result, that light was bestowed upon us. So the primordial light that he was created from, that he used to create creation, we now have that in us. There's different stories that talk about this. In the Greek thing, Zeus overthrows his parents. Then he overthrows his uncles and aunts, which is the Titans, which is gods before him, called chaos gods. They burn the Titans, then the Titans go and kill Zeus' son Dionysus. Eats, cooks him, and devours him. Then so Zeus gets mad and burns the Titans up, and the ashes from Titan he uses to make man out of titanium ash, which is melanin. But Dionysus, his son, who had the light, because this is the light that created him, he gave the light to his son, because the Titans ate Dionysus, and both man is made up of both Dionysus, which is Osiris, or Osiris. Man is made up of Dionysus and the Titans, which is Set-Typhon. Together, he's made up of both parts. We got the divine essence down here. Now, the Hermetic text, because nobody really reads Hermetic thought, but you can't get Egyptian thought from the Egyptian pantheon, because they separate the thought. If you want to get true Egyptian thought or pharaonic thought, you got to go get the Hermetic material. There's a book called Hermetica, Walter Scott. There's a new one now called Hermetica Copenhagen. And in that, we also talk about this particular when they burnt Dionysus all up, and both of us consume both energies, the Dionysian energy and also the Titanian energy, or the Titan energy. We have both in us, the both energies inside of us. So therefore, it says in the Hermetic text that the God that rules the earth, which is Yahweh, Zeus, in Yahweh in Hebrew, Jehovah in another form of Hebrew, Zeus in another part, Zeus in Greece, Marduk in Samaria, and Ra in Egypt. They have the power to nourish the earth, because it's talking about that sun out there, but do not have the power to nourish all of creation, because there's another form of creation, which is the chaos creation. They say that the most divine spirits who have the power to overrule the universe is now living on earth in a ground inner circle. That's what you call hell now. So it's all the way backwards.
I switched from due dates to due dates, and it made me go from weeks behind to weeks ahead of my deadlines. You see, I used to just bed rot all day getting nothing done. You know that feeling of anxiety where ticking off items on your daily chores and to-do list is quite
all the way backwards. You can find that also in that book, From Fetish to God. I was just recapping on that. From Fetish to God, also, they talk about Ra overthrowing Apep. Also in another book, a book by I think it's called Meeks. The name of the book is The Everyday Life. It's called the book is called the Daily Life of the Egyptian Gods. The Daily Life of the Egyptian Gods, or the Everyday Life of the Egyptian Gods. I think it's the Daily Life of the Egyptian Gods. In that book, they go into, in that book, say, 1994, they found the original coffin text, which is the stuff that was made before the creation of Ra, and come to find out Ra is a tyrannical ruler that killed all the damn gods because he want to rule. He invited all the gods to a banquet and swallowed them all up in his stomach and then cut their heads off. So in actuality, this particular coffin text that was destroyed by certain priesthoods shows you that Ra is an enemy of the gods. Now Amun-Ra is different because Osiris is dead in a mentor, but he rises up because he takes the energy of Ra plus the energy of the triple blackness of space, and he rises up as Horus, Ra Heru Kahuti, or Har-Ma-Ku, which is Amun-Ra, which is a different entity than Ra. Ra just means that sun out there, a hologram. You see them, a hologram. So this is a thing that you need to also deal with. Also get your Dark City. You gotta own Dark City. This is a movie, one of the greatest movies, occult movies that ever came out. As well as Never Ending Story and different other things, in the future, get you some, also, this is what you need to do to clean out the house too, is to get you either some Duke Ellington, some Ella Fitzgerald, somebody who's passed on. Anytime you get an entity that's passed on, and especially, so a lot of times we get the newer people that we associate with, but see, you got to realize you have people that made this new vogue of music in the 20th century, and from that new vogue of music came the modern jazz, funk, and all that. But so anybody that passed on becomes an avatar. So therefore, people like because jazz came out of ragtime. So if you get like your boy, like what's your boy that did the Sting, Scott Joplin. But then again, on the other hand, the stuff that Duke Ellington and them created was a new vogue from that. So this is classical shit. So if you get you some Duke, you can't go wrong. Or some Ella Fitzgerald. Anybody can break down glass when they're in the physical body. What you think about a spirit when she leaves the physical body and not contained in the physical shell? That means it's a much more powerful force. And every time I play the Duke or the Ella, the whole energy in the house changes. And all negative shit that's up in there, get the hell on, because this damn woman is hollering. And there's a good one for $31. I figure it's pretty cheap. You get like 60-something songs. It's like 3 CDs. Ella Fitzgerald's 75th anniversary came out in 1993, and it's like 60-something songs on 3 CDs. Or you can get in any kind of box sets and stuff like that. But get you some of that type of stuff. You know, your Count Basie, which was dealing with a jump jazz from the Egyptian goddess Hecate, or the Egyptian or the Kemetic god Hecate, which is dealing with what is called a jump jazz, which in actuality is some Vodun energy. This is some real deal shit. So get you some what you call the classical jazz, brothers, and you can clean out the energy. You know, don't get no fucking Louis Armstrong. Fuck that nigga. See, Louis Armstrong, they saying, is one of the greatest trumpet players of all time. But he had such a slave mentality that he neglected his talent just to sing a song for the cracker in green. So that's a fucked up energy. Every time I go, I say, man, my spirit said, don't get that motherfucker there. Because he was such an Uncle Tom, so he even doggone transcended his own talent. And they saying he's one of the greatest trumpet players of all times. Huh? Anybody that pass on. You know, Miles, Coltrane. There's a good one, Duke Ellington and Coltrane. It's a good one. You see, so this is stuff you really put a certain amount of energy, dealing with a certain amount of energy in your space. Very key that you deal with that in that particular level. So now, let's see what we got here. First of all, I want to deal with something here because your boy Tyrone Powell said that in the Notes of Virginia, about Thomas Jefferson said that in the Notes of Virginia that either we're gonna have to ship the Africans back or exterminate them. Now, I did some more research on this, and I come to find out that what he was actually quoting was the policy of the Freemason type group, probably the Scottish Rite or York Rite, or whatever that branch of Freemasonry. That's the policy of the Freemasons after they ousted the Moors from Spain, was eventually they would have to put us back into slavery. You see what I'm saying? So when he said that, he was actually literally quoting the policy of his brotherhood. Either, you know, you have to ship them back or eliminate them. So for the mere fact that they did not ship us back, that means from 1965, mainly 1975, the elimination process started with the cloning shit.
So think of it as like a TV ad with a catalog component where I can choose on the Roku app and immediately it's going to send me a text that comes from Roku and it just says, hey, you know, basically you just watch this and we're going to want to make sure that you get this. You know, you can create your background color, you can sort of customize your thing. It might be subscribe, shop now, whatever. You can add a logo or an image in the back, and then they get a text message, and then right from there, the person's able to click the link. In my opinion, I would send them to a specific landing page or a URL with a UTM so you can identify how that traffic from Roku behaves differently.
You see what I'm saying? With the cloning thing. And so that's the policy. Plus, we know that even on Bill Cooper's radio show, when he had his radio show going, that even on his show, that they had this guy that was a 33rd degree Mason that came on in the spring of '93, and he said that it was policy that we'd have to put black people back into slavery. That's policy based on our Freemason charters. So that's exactly what he was actually dealing with at that particular time. Now, you got to understand the Codex Inscriptus, or you got to understand a play on words. And you got to really check out what these white boys are saying. Now, Robert Anton Wilson has out a book called Everything is Under Control, which is the real deal occult book. All that Bill Cooper shit and all that stuff is bull. Although it gives you the history of the Illuminati, they are Christian based, and so therefore they're not a part of the occult. Bill Cooper said that I wouldn't have problems with the Illuminati if I was included. The key is when it comes to Robert Anton Wilson, is Robert Anton Wilson is the brother coming in, or what? Oh, okay. I'm just saying, hey, we ain't gonna turn nobody around, Oh, you just chilling? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Robert Anton Wilson is a part of the occult society. In his website, he says, I might be a government agent also. This is what he said. I might be. He said, who knows? I might be. I think that they're using me too. Now, how the hell you gonna think? That's like me saying, I think the government is using me. You know whether people using you or not. Anyway, in his book, Everything is Under Control, is the real deal stuff. It just came out. Yeah. Which one is that? Oh yeah, Everything is Under Control is the real deal book. Now. Yeah. Anyway, they can get it here. They can get it here. In there, under his section called clones, he has 2 or 3 lines. Now he's speaking in code. You got to understand this. You got to understand. If he says on the website that I might be a government agent too, you see, but he's a part of the occult realm, then you got to understand that the little thing that he has on clone, about 2 or 3 lines, don't fit what he actually knows, but the 2 or 3 lines are phenomenal if you break down the science. And this is what he says. He has clones. Then he says, some gay people say that they go in fear of being cloned out of existence. Now this is a code word. First of all, go to any white bookstore and you'll see gay section, and you'll see African Studies section. So wait a minute, Lexi, I said, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? A gay thing is an alternative lifestyle that has nothing to do with race, but that's the way they classify, because everything is classified. Like I was telling him about the bookstores. They would take 2 or 3 things in the occult. The occult is made up of astronomy, astrology, mythology, magic, metaphysics, and psychology. But each one of those have different sections. And they don't even have them right by each other. They have them different parts of the store. So therefore, you can't tap into all of the stuff until you put all this stuff together. You see, so you might go to the magic section, but then and then they got something called unexplained. So what they do is they separate things all over the place. But then again, on the other hand, classification is everything. That's how you learn. Now, in most of the bookstores, they'll have African American studies, or black studies, and they'll have gay studies right beside each other. The key is what he's saying in the book. First of all, gay is not a race. First of all, you can't detect gay people, because all gay people are not flaming homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? Flaming, which means dress wearing or a limp wrist and all this. You got football players and shit in the NFL that's gay. Basketball players. You see what I'm saying? People in regular suits in society, you don't know who the hell gay, because that has nothing to do with race. You understand what I'm saying? Now, genocide is based on a race or identifying a people. Plus, majority of white people are asexual. You see that if you ever see porn videos and you see the amount of women you see, it's normal for them to be with other women. You see what I'm saying? And even in the porn industry now, they got about 15 black girls. It used to be 8 in the 80s. They got about 15 black girls, and they use them in all the videos. But they got like hundreds and hundreds of white women. You see what I'm saying? That ought to let you, but that ought to let you know that they are asexual, period. Bobby E. Wright talked about that. So obviously they was not talking about gay people for the simple fact that you can't distinguish on who is gay. He knows this based on basic sociology, that don't add up. But it's a code word for the people in the occult to say that some gay people are feared that they are cloned out of existence. It's a code word for black people. If you understand that they lump black people and the gay people the same as the same ethnic group based on classification. So he has that in the book, as well as the Moorish thing I was telling you about, as well as a lot of other things. Very key that you understand that at this particular time. Down south, now this is the key. The white boy needs his melanin every morning. Other than the melatonin, he needs a serotonin type thing to wake him up. So this is why in the 1990s, all these coffee shops start opening up. Mad, Starbucks and all this shit. On Peachtree Street, they got 8 Starbucks. They'll have a Starbucks on one corner, they'll have one 2 blocks up. Now why is this? That ain't including Barney's Coffees, Aurora Coffees, Chickaboo Coffee, Caribou Coffee, all this shit. Including down Texaco and McDonald's and every place there. There ain't a place you can go you can't get no damn coffee. The key is this coffee is highly carbonated because that's why it's dark. So it's a form of melanin anyway, but they're putting a serotonin form of melanin in the coffee, and that's why you see this thing is a big coffee house shit that's going on, epidemic. See what's going down? As a matter of fact, where's your metaphysical Bible dictionary? Because there's a big shit down in Atlanta. Where's that book?
It was behind your back.
It was. Did somebody buy it?
I bought one last night.
Oh, you bought it?
I bought one. It was from mine. And I took it out.
More views doesn't equal more money. I get this comment at least 1,000 times a day. But here's the thing that most people don't understand. More views.
Mic check. 1, 2. Peace to the family. 747-24/7 361. So I would like to thank you for tuning in to Elder Bobby. You know, I usually do these Sunday revisions so we can go back on the lessons and we can, you know, go into the foundation of a lot of the things that we have studied through the course of our journey. And I bring different elders to the forefront in order for us to reflect on these certain principles. Now, it's not for us to more or less utilize these things statically. It is for us to take these lessons and utilize the principles of these lessons and build on them. All right? We are the great ones. If anything I can tell you, you are the great ones. Pretty soon they're going to be looking back at your videos the same way that we look back at Bobby. You know, and we look back at a lot of the elders that has given us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, understanding, overstanding, as well as solar standing. All right. So I like to thank everybody that, you know, gave their time to reflect on this video and also reflect on the lessons that Elder Bobby has given us. And, you know, bring these lessons to the forefront. Do something with these lessons. Live the life and become the great one that you desire to be. Okay? Become that one. All right? Let it unravel within you. All right? So I want to say thank you to everyone. Ashe. Man, I love when Brother Bobby Hemmitt was doing all the Ashes. He Ashe'd everything. Man, that was beautiful. You saw that? For anybody that was watching the video, did y'all saw when he Ashe'd everything? He just started Ashe'ing everything. Like he had all of those entities on his brain. And it was like boom, boom, Ashe this, Ashe that. We gonna Ashe everything. He started even Asheing the Greek gods, all of them, because he knows that all of these things are energies. They're corresponding energies of how what one would consider to be that all-powerful source, how it expresses itself. He knows that, and these are the things that he was sharing with us. Man, there's so many lessons, man. So many lessons that I got from that video. And yeah, man, it just reminds me of the choices that I have made to equal the greatness that I am, and that I am continually becoming. All right? So I love y'all. Look for us. We're going to be doing some work on Shalom today. Today I took a day off of work, y'all. I'm going to make Sunday my day to take off of work, and I'm going to dedicate it to God's work, to the universal work that we are all destined here to perform. And I'm going to just go back to the essence. I'm going to give it to y'all. And like I said, we're going to go on the land today. Pretty soon, we're going to be doing the greenhouses. You know, we're going to build the trail, and then we're going to start working on our greenhouses for the spring and the summer to come. And God bless us, man. And God bless everyone that is a part. Whatever force you want to call it, man, may that force bless you within this day and time. All right? And I love y'all. We are in North Carolina, if you want to know. And we have a nonprofit here. We're also doing a free dinner giveaway. If you are in the Charlotte area, please come and attend Karen's Kitchen. We're going to be doing Love and Unity Day on 12/21. All right, 12/21 Love and Unity Day. It's going to be the winter solstice. We're going to be serving food. We're going to be serving the dinner. It is our goal to at least feed 200 or more people that day. All right, and everybody's going to come and get a plate, whatever you desire. We have a lot of people cooking and donating and sponsoring this event. It's going to be totally beautiful. And like I said, anybody can show up and get a plate. Come get a plate. Seriously, you know, and it's just a way to give back. It's just truly a way to give back. Peace to everybody that has been supporting this effort to make this possible. All right? Peace to everybody. So we're going to be on West Sugar Creek and Reagan in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be on 12/21. We're going to start serving at 3, but it's our intentions maybe to start serving before 3. All right? So if you can help out, or if you would like any more information, just, inbox me or inbox my wife, or link up with Oracle Mother Yanis Lamel, and we'll be able to connect up. All right. So I love y'all. 747 24/7, 361 degrees. All right. Combs. And